it happened like that. I got drafted, finished playing in the World Series with TCU, signed 2 weeks later. A month later, I'm in the big leagues, making a playoff run. And then a month after that, we're actually in the World Series.
Every great leader you admire, no matter how much success they show, has something they're still working through. Today, we're not talking about the version of them you already know. We're talking about the version they don't always show. Well, I appreciate you, Brandon. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, man.
Of course. So we like to keep it as simple as we can and just sort of like jump into the real side of life. So I would love to know from you, what is there something as it relates to your life, your leadership, where you are currently? Like, is there something you're currently working through that would be valuable for us to talk about today?
Yeah, I would have to say the transition from being a professional athlete to the real world, learning how to be an actual grown-up.
Yeah. Tell me this, because as someone who's never been a professional athlete, at least not in real life, only in my head, what do you feel like? Let me ask you this first. Is there anything that happens or happened prior to the transition that was like, this is how I'm going to get ready. This is how you're supposed to get ready. Like I've always been curious, because I've always had this thought, and you can tell me if I'm on par or if I'm off. And if I'm off, I'm going to stop saying this, but I've been saying it like it's true. Okay. I've been saying, cause I've had a chance to work with some pro sports teams. And so I've always thought, as a professional athlete, if you're not talking about what you care about while you have a voice, when you no longer have one, then no one wants to listen.
That's deep.
Is that fair? Because I've always thought, like, if there's not something that you wanted to be about other than the sport, and I'm not saying I want to downplay you being about being an MLB player while you were an athlete, right? I just always thought, like, if there's not, if I could, right? And so maybe this podcast has just turned more about me. Like, I've always thought, right? Like, if I could find a way to get in front of athletes while they're in season, while they're still, quote unquote, still a professional athlete, and help them discover what they wanted to be about and what they wanted to care about and talk about, and not just professionally, as a person. And they could start talking about it while they had a voice and a platform. Then when they no longer had the athlete as the platform, they would have a message that everybody was still listening to, because it was the thing they had been saying that they said sort of superseded whatever it was I was able to do on the field. Yeah. So I've always been curious, like, is that a real thing? Is that something that does the MLB go, hey, we know when our guys transition out, we really want to make sure they're set up for success by equipping them to do A, B, and C? Or is that like a pipe dream I have?
I would say they could do better, right?
Okay.
They do have these meetings where they want to set you up for
success.
Okay. Once you're done. But it's not easier when you're one of the guys making, millions and millions and millions of dollars. But, like, you're right to an extent, right? People care about listening to you while you're a professional athlete.
Sure.
A little bit more than when you're done being a professional athlete.
Yeah.
But people still want to hear it, right? Yeah. They want to hear your testimony. They want to know, like, to an extent, what the life was like, right? Because a lot of people, like, that's their dream. Like, if you're a sports guy, that's your dream. Like, if you're not really a sports guy, you want to be a musician. You want to know the life of a musician, or or a pastor, right? Like, it's fascinating, it's cool, but like, I never was the guy to really voice my opinion about a whole lot of things when I was playing, right? And it got to when I retired, when I was like, okay, like, now I can voice my opinion more, right? Because back then I was like, if I voice this, like, and people don't agree with it, I'm going to be hated. Some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it. Now I'm like, I don't care. Right?
Talk to me about that. Talk to me about the proverbial freedom that you feel, or here, my back up. Here's what I heard you say. That once you retired from the MLB, you now feel a new level of freedom to maybe be more
myself, probably
more you, less athlete.
Yeah, 100%. So, like, there's obviously, as athletes, like, when people voice their, I hate talking about it, but their political views.
Sure.
Like, more often than not, you're going to have probably a lot of people that just are just like, shut your mouth, play the sport, right? And I don't talk about political views ever because it's
unnecessary.
Yeah,
I'm with
and like, so it's just different. And then I mean, I still don't talk about it, but like, I was baptized on a couple days for Easter this year, and awesome. Felt like a new person, right? Like I felt like because I got so far, I wouldn't even say away. I just got like in a depression when I mean, I was kind of forced to retire. It's not like I wanted to. I was just kind of forced, and I got into depression trying to find myself. And then now it's just like, I don't care what people think about me. I care what my family thinks about me, and like I know, God and Jesus know who I am and know my my worth and what I'm about. So if these people don't like what I say or think or what I believe, then that's on them. I don't care. And it took me so long to get to that. Like as an athlete, I wanted everybody to love me. Everyone. I was like, I hope this person thinks I'm good. I hope this person thinks I'm good. And if they didn't, then they were tweeting at me or messaging me.
Like, tell me this, and maybe they're synonymous for you. I heard you say, when I was an athlete, I wanted everyone to like me.
Yeah.
So we'll hold that over here.
Yeah.
And then I heard you say, but when I sort of found myself free from the desire for people to like me is when I discovered that I was actually worthy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're right. Yeah. Like, and I can't speak for all athletes. I can't, right? Just for myself. Like I grew up in an athlete home. My dad was a left-handed pitcher just like me. Went to my same high school. Got drafted, went to TCU, blew out a shoulder. I went to TCU, got drafted out of high school, walked off the mound in front of 30 scouts my junior year thinking I just blew my shoulder out. Luckily, it was nothing, so I was very fortunate with that. But like, brother played Division II baseball as well. He's an All-American. So my mom was an all-state tennis player. Like, we were athletes. So that's what I wanted. I knew at a young age that's what I wanted to be. And man, I just remember that feeling as a kid. Like all of my favorite Texas Ranger baseball players, I just loved them, and I idolized them. Right, like Josh Hamilton, I ended up facing my rookie season in playoffs, and to this day, favorite player. Him and Barry Bonds will go 1-2, and then David Ortiz will be 3, right? And I was a pitcher, so like, but I just remember just idolizing those people that got to do this for a living, and then I was very, very fortunate to become one, and I wanted kids and people to idolize me, right? Like you want people to think that you're good, that you're a good person, and so like you just. Regardless of how well you pitch, you still want people to like you, right? And it took me until I got married and had a kid to be like, that's not what this is about. Like,
and why do you think that is? What do you feel like you became aware of or saw post marriage and child? Because I'm very similar to you. I have a 9-year-old and I have a 7-year-old. She just turned 7, and I tend to use my marriage and my role as a father is typically almost every example I can think of or give about life and where I'm growing goes back to a story of something that happened this morning. We couldn't get the shirt right for my daughter, then we couldn't get the hair right, and then we couldn't get the other shirt right. We had to change our pants, and then we're late, and we got to get to the bus because the bus is going to be late, and so I'm mad, and she's crying, and I'm frustrated, and like we get to the back door to leave, and I was like, "Hey, come here," and I was like, "Hey, I am very sorry."
Yeah.
Because I'm not actually mad. I don't even know why I'm mad. I know why you're mad.
Yep.
It's because your shirt looks stupid and you don't like that. I don't think it looks dumb. You think it looks dumb. Exactly. And the half pony, Dad's not good at half ponies. Let's go all down or full pony. Half ponies, Dad's like 3 weeks from now, I'm going to a braiding class and we get treats and candy because Daddy's got to learn because I'm not a good braider, right?
Yeah. But
I think in all those, I got in the car and I was driving. I had to go run an errand this morning before I came here. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, why was I so mad? Why was I so mad at her? What was she doing that was directed towards me?
Yeah.
And I think that I hate to admit this, but like I watched a TikTok is where I got this from, but it was from a doctor. Let me just preface that. But just like giving the insight on oftentimes, and I promise this does relate. We're going to come back to what you said. It does relate. I promise. Stay with me. Is that oftentimes I have to ask myself, am I getting mad or frustrated? Because subconsciously, there's a small part of me that is a little bit jealous of the life that she gets to live, that I have purposefully created for her. Because a small part of little Rocky looks back and says, I didn't get to. And so why do you? Why do you get to talk about your feelings and someone listen to you?
Yeah.
Why do you get to say, I don't like my shirt, and someone listens to you? Why do you get to wait and get the things the way that you want?
Yeah.
And live this wonderful life with loving parents who do their best to care for you and get you in the things you. And I don't know that in the moment when she's crying about her hair or her shirt and I'm frustrated and getting mad and raising my voice, I tell her to hurry up and get it together. And I don't think I'm consciously thinking I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah.
I wonder though, that if for me in the moment, if there is a part of me that thinks this is a little bit unfair because you get to have everything I didn't, even though I'm actively the one doing, producing, creating, making it available to you. Right.
Yeah.
That, and so why am I telling you this story? Because I think when I hear you talking about the space of being in a position to go, I saw this my whole life and I had these people in my life that I saw, and then I saw these people that I sort of admired and, wanted to be idolized, wanted to be like, and then I became that person. I would assume it's really, really difficult to become that person and then to try to altogether become something different.
Yeah.
You spend your whole life trying to idolizing people and then hoping to be idolized. And then you get out there and then you're the guy who got drafted and then played in 2 World Series in the same year and all the stats that go along with you and all the things that were fun you got to do. Right.
Yeah.
And then to be out there and to be about something that is highly, highly about performance, then your capacity your performance is very measured.
Oh yeah.
And at that point we're measuring everything, every data point we have about you to the T, right? And then those data points tell you are or are not good.
Yep.
To then transition to a place to where there's zero data, there's zero metric, and we're supposed to wake up and still feel like we have something meaningful to provide.
Exactly. Yeah. And, like you were asking, like why did it take me getting married and having a kid? And it just went from like, to me, my whole career, I wasn't a person who played baseball for a living. I saw myself as, that's who I was. That's who I am.
Let me ask you this, because I thought I'm going to ask you a question, but I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, you keep going. I felt like you were about to say my whole life, and then you stopped and you said my whole career.
I did, yeah.
Do you feel like it was your whole life?
I did.
Okay, so let's start over, but say it that way.
So my whole life, I saw myself as a baseball player, right? Like that's who I was. It's not what I did, right?
It's who I was.
It's who I was.
It's good.
And I mean, y'all can attest to this. Like as soon as you have a kid, like your whole world changes. And I mean, my wife, I love her to death. Like she's a great mom. She works her butt off, and she had already started to like get me to transition from thinking this way. But the moment he was born, it was like, why do I care what other people think? The only thing that matters is what's in my house right now, and the people who are also family to me. That's what really matters. That's what I care. That's who I care. What they think about me. That's what I care about. And then it became so much easier when things were going rough in baseball. Because before that, when things were going, like if I had a bad outing, I took that home. And that was because I wasn't used to adversity. Like I didn't legitimately fail in baseball until 2018. And then I got sent down and I was never given another chance. And 2018 sucked. Don't get me wrong. I was bad.
Yeah.
I was bad. So I took every single, punch, and I took that home with me. And it was just like, I was one of those guys, like I was embarrassed for myself. So and it took me until I got married and had a kid to be like, why do you care? Right? Like this isn't who you are.
That's a good question. Why did you care?
I think I just, I can, and I still love it. Like I played it since I was 4. Like, and growing up, my parents all still to this day, they always said like, I saw it as I saw baseball as a time to have fun with friends. Right. And I don't remember that. Like, I just remember being pretty good at baseball, and like I was having fun doing it, right? Like, but they always said I took it like it was just time to hang out and not really, you know, and I'm a competitive human being. Like I think Zach can attest to that. Like I'm a very, very competitive human being. Like still to this day, me and my wife, everything's a competition. But it was just, I couldn't tell you, you know, thinking back, it was just, I love baseball so much that like.
Do you feel like baseball gave you a place to belong?
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, that's, to be honest with you, this is gonna sound so.
No, just say it. No disclaimer.
To be honest with you, like that's what and it's so bad to even think this way, but baseball is what made me feel like I had a purpose, I guess you could say. You know, I had a reason to wake up and give it my all that day. And it was because of baseball. And, you know, I still have a lot of friends that are playing that I played with in college, and I'm so happy for them. Like, love those guys to death. I hope they play for a long time. And I'm just, you know, like you said earlier, part of you's like jealous that you're not playing still, right? Because it's not about, for me, like I know I still got it. It's just I wasn't getting picked up. So, and I played indie ball in 23-3, and you know, it's just at the end of the day, like you don't want it to make it about money, but you don't get paid nothing.
Right.
So I couldn't do that to my family again.
Right.
And I didn't want to leave, you know, my son for the 4th year straight, and my wife at home alone, where she's basically a single parent, and to go make nothing and not really provide, right? Because I saw myself as, you know, the baseball player. I provided for my family. That's what I wanted to do. I thought that was a manly thing to do, was to provide for your family. And as soon as that was over with, like I didn't have a degree to fall back on. Still don't. So I was deathly afraid of what was next, because I didn't know. I was just applying to jobs just to apply to them, just to try and bring a check in. I mean, I put my wife, you know, my depression just put her through a lot. And, you know, it was tough on our family. I wasn't fun to be around, you know, like you were talking about earlier with your daughter, like I had these little stupid blow ups that had nothing to do with my wife or my son. It was just, I was mad at my situation and what I had become in my eyes. Because to me, I was a failure and I was embarrassed to show face. Like I thought, if I think I'm a failure, what does everybody else think? You know? So it was tough. It was tough, but
it's interesting to hear. I really appreciate you sharing that. It's interesting to hear talking about how sort of this trajectory through life where the baseball in a sense was the purpose.
Yeah.
And then sort of like with age and time and relationships and maturity, yes, baseball still provides a level of purpose, but you mentioned then getting married and then having a son sort of like created this newfound purpose. However, in order to be a man and to be manly, there's a level of provision that would be necessary. And so now sort of the purpose, we've added a layer of complexity to that purpose, which is now like make money, right? And so and somewhere in the league, right, like that is happening to some degree. So it's like, okay, it's still fun. It's like, wait, so my purpose is baseball, but also I need baseball to also make money. And why there's something else I look at when I walk to the front door of my house that I see that I love, that I feel like I'm jeopardizing at the expense of what I thought was purposeful, knowing that this is actually where I want to be. However, I'm sort of like caught in this conundrum because I feel like I can't give them what it is that they need.
Exactly.
And so the very thing that has been my core purpose as a human being, now not only is it failing me, but I'm failing them.
Yep. 100%. Exactly.
So what's the point? What are we doing here?
Yeah. That's, I mean, and it took me so long to accept that, you know, that wasn't in the plans for me anymore. Right. And then once I did, like it was, and still to an extent, I still fight it, right?
For sure.
I still watch baseball and I still cheer my buddies on. I'm just like, I can't believe it. Like, to certain people, like, I can't believe he's playing and I'm not, right? But like, it's become an easier pill to swallow at times, because I know that it's not in my plans. As much as I want it to be in my plans and in my future, like I wish I was still playing. God did allow me to play this sport for 10 years professionally. And I mean, beyond fortunate. Everybody thinks that, growing up, they're like, if you're a sports person, you're like, all right, I'm gonna pitch in the World Series. Like, it's Game 7 of the World Series, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Can you make the pitch? Or, 4th down, 4th
my son,
Super Bowl.
My son runs the scenario. You said every time we end playing catch. That's his scenario.
It's crazy, right? And then it happened like that. Like, I got drafted in 2014, finished playing in the World Series with TCU, signed 2 weeks later. A month later, I'm in the big leagues, making a playoff run. And then a month after that, we're actually in the World Series.
Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Join us next week for the part 2 conclusion of our conversation, and don't forget to join us this month for our leadership training. You can register you and your team at rockygarza.com/confidence.